Hey, Annie, I did my business.
Thanks. Thanks, Paul. Hello, everybody. My name is Joey.
And I am Robert. And today's movie that we're going to discuss is Misery from 1990.
Yes, and this movie is basically about a famous author crashing his car in a horrible snowstorm and getting rescued by his number one fan, only to recover in pure agony. And
I would say that the lesson of this movie is not everything about celebrity is great. Right?
yeah,
So there's small cast. James Caan plays the author, Paul Sheldon.
who is very well known for his role of Buddy the Elf's dad in Elf.
Yeah, if you're a big film fan, you will recognize James Caan as having way over more than 130 credits. He's been working for a really, really long time. And the other main star, she won an Oscar for this.
Rightfully so.
She plays Annie Wilkes, and the actress that played is
Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates plays Annie Wilkes. A very young Kathy Bates. This is a 30-year-old movie at this point. And she plays a really good, quirky character.
She was killer in this.
Yeah.
Literally.
She is his number one fan. She loves his books.
Uh-huh.
And it's a Stephen King novel, Stephen King story. And, slightly revised for the screenplay. It's a pretty faithful reproduction of the book story, and that tends to make better movies, I think, especially with Stephen King. When they diverge the plot a little bit, I think it goes off the rails.
Yeah, and he gets disappointed with that. Like with Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, he got disappointed by that. Fun fact, Stephen King actually got the idea for Misery. He was taking a nap on a plane and he woke up and he said, "Oh my gosh, I have to scribble this down." And he said he's never done this before. And he got a pen and a cocktail napkin and wrote down crazy fan, obsessed with author. Like just something simple along those lines. And then, hashed it out over a desk.
I never heard that. So the writer, Paul Sheldon, Jimmy Caan, he has a series of books that made a lot of money for him about Misery Chastain. He hates writing it. He hates writing them. But of course, this Annie Wilkes character, she loves the character.
She named her freaking pig after Misery.
He's bedridden because of the accident. And the reality is, Jimmy Caan, he spent about 15 weeks filming this movie in bed. That's where he delivered his lines from. Anyway, Jimmy Caan shows up one day, way hungover, and everything he shot that day was completely useless because he was useless that day. And
Wow.
Rob Reiner lied to him, and he says, "Oh, Jimmy, that film, the lab screwed it up. We're going to have to reshoot it." And when James Caan found out that it was actually his fault because he was so hungover that day, he offered to pay for the day of shooting.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if they took him up on it or not, but I think that's a real gentlemanly thing to do,
Yeah.
James.
You ruin a whole day of shooting? I couldn't even...
That's expensive. Even in 1990, I don't know what that would have cost. Rob Reiner had never directed sort of this kind of a movie before. So, like a thriller. And he watched every Alfred Hitchcock movie ever made to kind of get the hang of directing this type of a film. And I think he did a damn good job.
So, Misery had a 90% rating on Rotten Tomatoes and an 89% as just a general audience rating.
So, my interpretation is, so those are high numbers, right?
Yeah.
Really good. When the audience meter is very close to the critical tomato meter, they're only 1% off here, that's a good, fair representation. So that you're talking about a good movie here.
And if you haven't had enough of Annie Wilkes, you can always go onto Hulu and watch Castle Rock, which is like a conglomerate of Stephen King's stuff. And season 2, Annie Wilkes is actually the main character. Portrayed by Lizzie Kaplan. And I thought she did a phenomenal job.
I felt that Lizzie Kaplan channeled the Annie Wilkes character.
She totally embodied the hell out of... Here are some lines from the movie. I'm your #1 fan.
We hear that a lot.
Yeah. Also, I love you, Paul.
You dirty bird!
Are you talking about yourself?
No. Paul. Hey, Joey, what's your favorite scene in this movie?
I'll give you a hint.
Mine too. Bing! Pumpkin rating time.
I think we should give this 5 pumpkins.
Oscar winning. I agree. Really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. Very well shot. Great acting.
5 out of 5 pumpkins.